Hey guys, David here. Today we're going to talk about the 7 major elbows that you will find within the Krav Maga system. Now, when it comes to elbows, there's a lot of elbows. If you want to see all the elbows, you can train Thai boxing. You can look at Thai boxing. They specialize in elbows. In the Krav Maga system, we tend to simplify things, and so we use 7 major elbows. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on elbow number 3 of the Krav Maga series. Okay guys, so now we're going to talk about elbow number 3. Elbow number 3 is going to be another horizontal elbow, but now it's going to be from the opponent being behind us. And so I'm going to turn sideways to kind of help with the camera angle so you can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. But now the problem is that there's somebody directly behind me. Now, whether my awareness failed me or whatever reason, it doesn't matter. The opponent is really close in to me, okay? So I need to go on the offensive right off the bat. When I do this elbow, again, I'm gonna bring my hands up, okay? From here, I'm turning, I'm gonna pivot on this outside foot from the way that I'm turning, and then I'm pivoting on the other foot as well. I need to be able to get a full range of motion going all the way back behind me. Now, this is going to be another horizontal elbow, so from here I'm going to bring my hands up. I'm going to try to look behind me to make sure that I'm not elbowing grandma at Thanksgiving dinner, because if I do that, again, you're going to have some explaining to do. So I need to identify the target, but I also need to have some kind of defensive posture, which means that I'm bringing my hand up. From here, my thumb is going to the chest. As I'm pivoting around, like I already spoke about, I'm bringing that elbow around. Again, the contact point is going to be at the top of the elbow here. As I'm turning, I'm making sure that I bring that elbow all the way around. Ideally, that if you were to trace my center line going all the way up my back, that elbow would pass by that center line. I want to get full range of motion out of this. The only way that I'm going to be able to do that is if I pivot on my feet. If I don't pivot on my feet, I don't have the range of motion. Plus it puts a lot of strain on my knees and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't feel good, right? So I need to allow my body to be able to go all the way around if I can. Now, from here, again, we're already in that close contact because we're throwing elbows, right? So I need to be prepared to be able to make that transition all the way around to keep firing off counterattacks if I need to, right? If the situation calls for it, I need to be able to turn and face my threat. Now, another way is that I turn, I throw this elbow, make contact or don't make contact, and I use that to step off to gain that space. Now, depending on who it is that you're going against, who it is that you're defending against, is going to depend on the tactic they're in, right? If this guy outweighs me by 200 pounds and he's solid brick wall, and I hit him with the elbow, he may not move. He may put an arm up, and I don't make contact anyway. So I have to be prepared to be able to step off, fire more counterattacks as needed, right, for what the situation calls for. However, if he comes up and he grabs me in a bear hug or something like that, and I elbow him in the face, and that gives me the distance that I want, I have to be prepared to keep going in if I need to finish the fight. Now you ask, how do you tell the difference between that? Well, I go places with my son all the time, right? If for some reason I have to elbow somebody in the face, right, whether I make contact or I don't make contact, I'm probably not going to run off and leave him to fend for himself. I like the little guy. I'm not going to do that to him, right? So I might very well, because of who I have with me, have to come in and finish the fight, right, to be able to protect him. Now, if it's a situation where you can safely get away and you don't have to keep going hands-on, then I would definitely do that as well, right? I throw that elbow, oh my goodness, I don't want to fight, then I'm going to use that to get away, right? So really it depends on what the situation calls for. But remember, you're already in that close contact distance, and if they put their hands on you, chances are their intention is not that good. So you have to be prepared to go either way. Now, with that being said, when you're training this, I would train this in isolation, obviously, right? Throwing the elbow, you want to make sure that you do both sides. I cannot stress that enough, and I'll probably say that in the rest of these videos. You want to train both sides. Again, The idea is to be a complete fighter, whether you're training for defense, sport fighting, it doesn't matter, right? The idea is to be complete. You only get that by training both sides. So you can train side one, side two, side one, side two. From here, train the transition. And what I mean by that is I'm gonna throw that elbow, I'm gonna get some space, I'm gonna throw a kick, right? That's part A. Part B is I'm gonna throw that elbow, I'm gonna turn in, and I'm gonna fire off a couple more counterattacks, right? You wanna train both because you wanna be ready for whatever may happen. Thank you for watching this video. If you like these videos, if you learned anything about elbows, go ahead and click that like, click that subscribe. What it does is it helps get what we do out to more people. That way so other people can see the videos and learn how to throw elbows every bit as good as you can now. Thank you.